I've traveled the world with my Apple Watch Ultra and tested it in a variety of conditions, but I have yet to put it to the test in a more outdoorsy, hiking, and ocean-based environment. Obviously test the basics like Apple Pay, messaging, and telling the time, but I also want to find out how does the backtrack feature work in a variety of hikes, the battery life in intense heat and humidity, and the overall impact of the watch in these real-world scenarios. Sadly, my friend lost his Apple Watch. It's the first full real day here in Panama. I'm about to go for a little bit of a run, maybe 2-3 miles, just get some blood flowing, get some movement in. The best way to adjust to a new time zone is exercise, eating, and sunlight. Check 2 of those off in this beautiful run along the Panama side highway. Absolutely gorgeous and stunning. All right, it's like 80-90% humidity and like 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It's so hot. You have to run shirtless. I'm gonna be soaking wet after this. Look at these beautiful views. Like, that is insane. I'm gonna run along this little path here. Also, people were staring at me, and I later realized that it's not appropriate or legal maybe to go shirtless outside in Panama, but we survived. I love tracking my runs when I'm traveling because then I can publish it on Strava and people can see that I'm traveling. And if you didn't post that you're in a new country on Strava, did you actually travel? No, this is happening again. Look, the Garmin already started. It's tracking, got navigation. But here, if I press start, oh, now it works. But I was getting the resume workout failed again. Like, it works and then randomly just starts working out. I don't know. And today I'll have a couple of cool fun facts sprayed around the video. If you have heard of the Panama Canal, it's in Panama. It's completed in 1914. The Panama Canal symbolizes U.S. technological prowess and economic power. America. So it was almost 75 years from when the U.S. built the Panama Canal that we handed it over to the Panama government in 1999. Like, as we were traveling around Panama, there was a region that was essentially kind of like occupied by the U.S. And this airport used to be a U.S. military base. It's kind of crazy to think how large of a presence there was in Panama in the past. Like, even the bus stops look like there's something from a US shopping mall. Like, you can even tell this bus stop right here is hands down American made. It looks like a New York bus stop. Now on to the feature that I wanted to test the most. This is the national park. Are you sure? Since New York doesn't really have a lot of good outdoorsy spots and we're kind of in the middle of nowhere with 4 people who really have no clue what we're doing, this is a great opportunity to test out the backtrack feature on the Apple Watch just in case you get lost. Yosemite? I took it on 3 different hikes. The first test was in a Parc National. We're gonna open up compass, tap the little feet here, start backtrack, and now it's gonna record everywhere we go. And I think we can drop little dots. All right, so I'm wearing the Vibram 5 finger so I can really feel the floor and it feels amazing. I can feel every little tree wood right here. Like, bad clothing decision?
Yeah, it's really bad. Look,
why?
one has already ants in his socks.
Really?
Yep.
Uh-oh. 45 minutes there, an hour on the way back. So we're going to the mountaintop? Yeah. Backtrack. All right, this is the Garmin Phoenix map. Good, but it's a little dark. You can see where I walked up, which is cool. And as I turn, it updates. Just a little slow, but it's there. This is the Apple Watch map. Same thing with the backtrack. You can see the points that I saved. If I zoom out, you can kind of see all the points, kind of the stop points, but it saves the entire trail, which is neat. So considering I went with these scoundrels, if anything happens, I can have certainty and reassurance that I know where we're going. Oh, yeah? All right, we made it to the top. Look at these views. It looks just like it did on the bottom. 0.95 miles up. Heart rate's at 120, 36 minutes. Let's head back down, baby. Are you actually serious? You're going that way?
This way. No, we came from this way, but I saw this right and we did make it and we went straight.
No, yeah,
I'm very sure we came this way.
Wait, you're actually serious? We got into an argument as a group on which way we should take. And luckily, the handy-dandy Apple Watch backtrack let me know that the right side, not the left, was the right route. I literally just talked about the feature of using backtrack, and it says we have to go this way.
Okay, well, let's go this way.
We're learning technology. We're learning.
No, we all.
This is literally exactly all 4 guys. Oh, we go that way. We could have gone the wrong way, but thank you, Apple and Garmin.
No, I said it.
So this video is sponsored by Apple and Garmin.
Use my links below if you want to get a discounted product or just help support the channel. All right, we finished the hike. Back here. Oh, I totally forgot there's a retrace steps. Oh well. The reason I love backtrack is one thing I've learned is you never want to trust your friends. So the second test was hiking in a rainforest with sloths. All right, we're gonna start an outdoor hike. Waiting for GPS. Started. All right, although we have a guide who's gonna tell us where to go, I'm gonna start backtrack as well on the Apple Watch. What watch do you have?
Standard, traditional.
It's like a Garmin or?
No, it's a Casio.
Casio.
Me too, Casio.
Oh.
$8 on Amazon.
They survive. If you don't carry
your Caddy, your water filter. You don't have your smartphone, satellite reception,
No
blah, blah,
Instagram.
blah, blah.
Yeah. TikTok.
Can you try that? Can I try that?
In average, 3 days for you guys.
What if I have an Apple Watch? Will that make me last longer? I have barefoot. I'm wearing my shorts.
You could probably do 6 days with that.
So I guess one thing that's frustrating is you have to start the outdoor walk, which I would like a hike feature that would automatically start the backtrack. It should be linked as one.
He's enjoying the sun up there.
But they have efficient mitochondria, like their metabolism is efficient.
Oh, totally efficient, but it's very slow.
Ah.
That is the reason why they consume leaves and they
So
spend 14, 15 hours doing
Good
digestion.
find, Matt.
The rest is just
thank
sleeping,
you.
taking a break.
Wow. Imagine if they did zone 2 cardio.
I don't know, I just...
All right, I forgot to use the retrace steps feature, so we're going to use it now. So we're going to continue the backtrack. But since it's like we're already walking back, it might not work. And to be honest, I don't think it was very necessary because we had a guide and the roads were very well marked. But in some cases, it's not. I remember hiking in Denver, Colorado, and you have no idea where the trail is. So having something that can visually tell you where you went and where you need to go to head back can be extremely helpful. And the third and final test was kind of near a remote island in Bocas del Toro. They actually shot a couple episodes of Survivor here, supposedly. And the island was so small, it was actually cool to kind of see that we walked the entire island. I don't know if it was necessary. I did appreciate the topographic maps on my Garmin, and it actually showed where we walked on the island. So it was valuable to see how much was left on our hike. I would love to see that kind of integration and backtrack on the Apple Watch as well. Now, hiking and backtrack are fun, but what about my hands down favorite feature, Apple Pay? Pago con tap to pay? See? Gracias. When you're traveling, you're not really sure if some of these payment systems will work in other countries, but literally everywhere you went in Panama with a credit card terminal took Apple Pay. They didn't accept Amex at all, but Visa everywhere. All the way from the grocery store to the super fancy 5-star restaurant that we ate at. And I finally got my friends on board to using Apple Pay on their Apple Watch. Or at least their iPhone.
You'll be proud of me.
Why? Hey!
Shervin, how do I set up my watch for Apple Pay?
So you just double press this button? The only places this didn't work were cash only spots. So like we went to the smoothie shop, a restaurant on a remote island, and even this bar on the water. And on that bar on the water was the moment my friend lost his Apple Watch. Where's your watch? So make sure to get a strap that really protects it, or be mindful when you're jumping into the ocean. I'm currently using the ocean band, which is very good at locking in and so it doesn't fall out. But luckily my other friend hopped in and they were able to scout and they found his Apple Watch. Oh my God.
Damn.
And it still works.
Playing sound.
Fun fact, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi don't really work well underwater, so trying to use Find My is not that helpful. Scott, what time is it?
Matt Zahira o'clock.
We tried using Apple Pay at the ATMs to withdraw cash. I didn't bring any cash, and this ATM does not take Apple Pay, so I guess we're just gonna have to survive this. Second fun fact, the US dollar has actually been an official currency of Panama for 118 years. So what's interesting here is legal tender. The US dollar is legal tender, and I think the currency is pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar, so it makes it much easier to spend money. You don't really have to think much. And a lot of people it's intermixed almost. But the only time I saw Panama currency was in coins. Next was the boating and ocean test. All right, so now we're about to ride on a boat in the canal. So when we took a tour of the Panama Canal on a boat, I kind of want to get an idea of where we were going, how fast we're going, and maybe even get a visual map of where we explored. I didn't have enough data or time to find an app that could do that, but there's no native way to do it. But I was able to do it on my Garmin watch. And we're gonna get a map of everywhere we went. That's sick. What?
It's not even a new feature. Called GPS.
Is it necessary? No. Was it cool and maybe I wanted to share on social media? Yes. I would love to see something like that for boats, jet skis, stand-up paddleboards, or kayaks, where you can kind of get a visual of where you went and maneuvered. But that concluded some of our daytime activities. But I did use the weather app on the Apple Watch a ton. I wanted to see what were the UV radiation, how much sunscreen did I need to wear, and on a percentage of 98 to 100%, how self-conscious should I be with taking my shirt off? So essentially, I never took my shirt off unless I was back at the hotel because the UV radiation was typically very high every single day, and I just didn't want to get that much darker, but I did. And now I have this semi-Apple Watch stand. But using the weather app, getting quick access to temperature as well as UV rays is extremely valuable on my wrist. But as soon as the sun sets, most young people love to entertain themselves by going to a bar or a club, and since all of my friends wanted to do that, I had no choice. So reluctantly, all I could do was look at the noise levels on my Apple Watch. They were extremely loud and I forgot my earplugs. What is wrong with you? I need to figure out how to be normal sometimes. But I think just having some awareness of noise levels in your environment can be really important to protect your hearing. And the last section is battery life and charging. So whenever we were home recharging ourselves or just getting ready for the day, I would charge my Apple Watch, so maybe once or twice a day, to make sure it stayed between between the 20 to 80% battery range. And because of that, I never really had to worry about the battery life. It was just charging when we got back to the hotel. But what I liked about also wearing the Garmin was the battery life actually never died. Somehow it survived the entire week and it got to like 9% by the end. But I was able to track all my runs on both watches, do all kinds of navigation features, and I didn't have to bring a second charger for my Garmin. You know, in a dream world, if the Apple Watch could last 1 week or a month, that would be so interesting. And yes, I know there's the low power mode, but then you get less data. I can't live with less data. All right, my final 3 thoughts about using the Apple Watch in Panama and traveling in a tropical environment. For a regular person who likes to occasionally travel and go on these adventures, the Apple Watch covers some of your bases in terms of getting interesting information, tracking the stuff that you need to, but I would love to see offline topographic maps like I do on the Garmin. Second, I like to get the cellular model on all my Apple Watches, even if I don't activate a plan, just because you get emergency services in like 100+ countries. And for me, if you can afford it, it's like a little bit extra insurance, just as a safety precaution. And 3, make sure to get a band that dries rather quickly, because I don't know about you, but I sweat a lot, especially in high heat, humidity environments, and it got kind of uncomfortable to have the watch on my wrist. The Ocean Band is not as quick drying. Like the Trail Loop probably would have been a better strap in this environment. It's just when I was going in the water, I wanted something that would secure my watch and make sure it doesn't fall off like my friends did. So the Apple Watch is not a necessary tool, but it's really nice to have. It makes these small things a little bit more convenient with payments, travel, tracking where I'm going. Now, since you enjoyed this video, go watch my entire Apple Watch travel series. It'll be linked right down below. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @ShervinShares, and turn on your notifications right here if you want to see all of my future videos.